America, not just to study at your university, but to tear up your campus, we would have never let you in. And if you do that, once you come into the United States, we're going to kick you out. We're going to do that. And I don't care what terrorist organization is supporting, we're going to kick you out. If you're a gang member, we're going to kick you out. Okay? If you're one of these violent gang members that's coming to the United States, then we're going to kick you out. That we're going to do. There's no doubt about it. But the president's very committed to that. And but if you're a green card holder and you're not any of these things, you're going to be fine.
So how worried should green card holders and visa holders should be about Trump's deportations? You heard it from the Secretary of State. If you have no violations, no criminal record in the past, not coming here to promote propaganda, support terrorist organizations, just a regular green card holder, came on a visa, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you have nothing to worry. I know you see a lot of videos, people spreading fear. If you've done nothing wrong, you'll be just fine. Stop worrying. It's happening. Immigrants are being detained at their green card interviews. This is happening all over the country. In this picture, on USCIS official Instagram and Facebook account, 10 immigrants were detained in Florida. Now, who is at risk for detention at their green card interview? They're saying if you came here with a visa and then you overstayed, if you came here unlawfully and somehow you're eligible to adjust eventually, you're also at risk. If you had previous removal orders, you're at risk as well. Any criminal violations in the past, you're now at risk. If you had previous green card filed, denied, now you're refiling, you're at risk. Now, the fact that they're posting it on their social media tells me that it might be spreading everywhere. If you are about to go to a green card interview, assess your history, any immigration violation, speak with a lawyer before going to the interview, and consider going with an attorney if you have one. And follow me for daily updates just like that.
Look at what happened to this permanent resident.
After an exhausting day at work, Giovanni was surprised by 3 immigration agents when he arrived home. One grabbed his arm to pull him out of his car.
And my first reaction is to pull out my wallet and say, hey, I'm a legal resident. I have an official social security card. That was the initial response from me, almost instinctively, without even really thinking. I said it immediately.
The immigrant of Mexican origin has been a permanent resident for 5 years.
This is what's happening in Alabama.
He showed his documents, but the officer said they were fake.
I tell him that I'm a resident, that I have my social security number, and he didn't show me any warrant, and now he's checking over there.
He asked them to show him an arrest warrant.
You need to show something.
But they handcuffed him and took him to an immigration jail.
They get in the car and start, is there anyone else at the house? Is there anyone else at the house? No, I'm alone. I just got off work, I'm alone. Everyone is out working, there's no one there. That's why they didn't break in.
What this permanent resident did was the right thing. He had his paperwork with him. Unfortunately, he had a bad time with them. He was detained, but he was released shortly thereafter. I'm immigration attorney Angelica Jimenez, and don't forget to keep your documents with you.
This is breaking news. ICE agents arrested a green card holder at his citizenship interview earlier today in Vermont. He's committed no crime, has done nothing wrong. He's a Palestinian who was at Columbia University and was involved in the protest. This is a major, major problem in the United States, because how can ICE agents be arresting people for their protected constitutional rights of freedom of speech? This cannot be allowed. This cannot be accepted. immigrants in the United States, green card holders, have the same rights as American citizens in terms of free speech. And right now, ICE agents are going around arresting green card holders. It's shocking. In this case, he went in to apply for his citizenship and was at the interview. He was about to become a citizen and they stopped him before that, arrested him, and we don't even know where he is right now. This happened literally hours earlier today on Monday, April 14th, and we're not sure where he is. He might be in Louisiana. He might be in process to being where other, green card holders were being arrested. They already filed a habeas petition to try to find out where he's going to be taken and to challenge the constitutionality of that arrest. But I want to let you guys know, immigrants, if you are worried, if you're a green card holder, if you have a citizenship interview coming up next, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you have a lawyer and that you are, if you're a student and you've protested, and you have something you're concerned about and you're a green card holder, you can contact me. I'll speak to you. Maybe I can take your case as well. All right, guys. But green card holders, be careful because these are times when we cannot trust ICE. We cannot trust, the government to do the right thing, and we're challenging them.
Green card holders, avoid this mistake. This is a sad but true story. This is a story about a green card holder who was going through the naturalization process, but he was ambushed and arrested by ICE at his naturalization interview. He came to the United States years ago lawfully, and he met his U.S. citizen wife in Mississippi. Then he went back home and returned to the United States sometime later. Then they got married and she filed for him. His wife's case was approved and he was granted the 2-year conditional residency green card. They moved on with their life and they had 4 children together and they thought everything was okay. He then went on to apply for naturalization. Unfortunately, what he didn't know is that he missed a critical procedural step in the process that has now cost him his freedom. He forgot to apply to remove the conditions on his green card. He did not file the I-751 petition to remove conditions at the end of the 2 years. Because he didn't do this, he lost his lawful status and USCIS placed him in removal in deportation proceedings. He was unaware of the fact that USCIS has placed him in removal, and he had a hearing date in 2019 that he never appeared at. Because he never showed up to court, the judge issued a removal order against him in his absence. So when he went in now for his naturalization interview, ICE arrested him. Before USCIS became so tough, the normal process would have been for USCIS to inform him during the naturalization process in writing and certainly at the interview that he missed that critical step of removing the conditions on his green card and that he needed to file the I-751 petition. All of this could have been avoided, friends, if he had known that he was supposed to file that I-751 petition to remove conditions. But I will tell you this, there is a way for him to recover and still get through. Despite being in removal, friends, he can still file the petition and he could still get an approval and stay in the United States with his family. As you can see, things are getting tougher with immigration because back in the day, under the old system, pre-Trump 2.0, USCIS would never have ambushed him in this manner by having ICE arrest him at his naturalization interview. They would have simply told him that he missed that critical step and he needs to get it taken care of so that he can get back in status. Immigration, friends, is really complicated, as you can see, and it can be very costly. It could even cost you your freedom if you don't understand the rules and all these little steps here and there. It can be very, very tricky. I hope you found these videos that I've been doing over the years helpful to you, and certainly McBean Immigration TV on YouTube, where I have, I think, over 1,000 videos now on immigration issues. Guys, I'm covering all things related to the Trump immigration changes. Follow for more.
Once that door shut in the interrogation area, I knew for sure things were going to get more intense.
Fabian Schmidt has come to pick up his father at the same Boston airport where immigration agents arrested Schmidt in March and then detained him for 2 months.
Papa?
No, look good.
Schmidt is one of several legal permanent residents who've been caught up in the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration.
We were a little scared to come to this airport.
Born in Germany, Schmidt moved to the U.S. when he was 16 and later became an electrical engineer. He now lives with his fiancée in Nashua, New Hampshire. On a recent trip coming back from Germany, Customs and Border Protection officers at Boston Logan International Airport detained him over a previous conviction for possession of cocaine. Schmidt says the drugs were not his. His other old misdemeanors, including a DUI, were not cited in his removal proceedings.
They told me they had a flag on my green card that I was inadmissible at the time, and they wouldn't tell me why.
He says officers strip searched him in a holding area at the airport.
It's not just like, hey, sir, excuse me, can you please stand in this corner so we can politely pat you down? It's like grab you by your scruff, slam you against the wall.
Under U.S. immigration law, green card holders may be deported if convicted of a crime.
The Obama administration, the Biden administration, they also pursued deportation pretty aggressively in some senses. The Trump administration is simply choosing to arrest lots more people like green card holders who have old criminal convictions that have long made them deportable. But those people weren't priorities for deportation under either the Biden administrations or the Obama administration.
Adam Cox is a leading immigration law expert and a professor at New York University.
Fabian's case, I think, reflects the new decisions by the Trump administration to prioritize the deportation of essentially everyone.
In a statement to the New York Times, the Department of Homeland Security said officers took proper action. Schmidt says he suffered horrendous treatment while in immigration detention.
If I had to use one word to exactly describe that situation, it was dehumanizing.
He says officers pressured him to give up his green card, denied him access to his lawyer, and ignored him for days when he sought medical help. The Department of Homeland Security did not answer questions about his treatment. Schmidt stayed at a detention facility at the airport for 5 days before he was moved.
At this moment, I was ridden with fear because I didn't know where I was going. My family didn't know where I was going. That right there was the last time I was going to see daylight for the next 60 days.
He ended up here at Donald W. Wyatt Detention Facility, a maximum security prison in Rhode Island.
I remember walking in there and all I heard was screaming. It's loud, it's bright, everybody was pounding on the tables, and I realized that this is prison.
The New York Times reached out to the prison about Schmidt's treatment, but they did not respond. Finally, after 2 months, Schmidt was released after a criminal court vacated his conviction, citing a lack of evidence. The court's decision removed the basis for his deportation.
Since I got home, I'm embracing every moment. To have these moments back, to take my dog out for a walk or to cook food is amazing.
Schmidt and his lawyer say that they plan on filing a civil lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security for his detention and treatment.